Hey all friends, and welcome to a video. This is a video of Bard's Tale 4. I've just picked up Bard's Tale 4. My idea was to play the Bard's Tale games through before 4 came out. That obviously didn't happen. So I've got a fair way into 1, but that's about it. Because 4 really interests me. It's by In Exile, who kind of run by Brian Fargo, I believe, who is kind of like one of the founding fathers of CRPGs, I would say. And it looks interesting. I watched a video, like an interview of him, and basically his interpretation of Bard's Tale 4 is that it's, trying to stick quite close to the roots of the game, dungeon crawly type thing. But obviously with some, some improvements. From what I've seen of it, I've tried not to watch too much of the game, so I've kind of bought it blind. Essentially, I've got no idea what the reviews say or whatever. It seems to be more story driven than the original Bard's Tale games, I would say. Got some quality of life improvements, hopefully, but we'll see how it goes. What I'm hoping for is an atmospheric RPG romp experience. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So. There are a few issues with the game with regards to optimization and settings. The sound seems a bit weird. But I haven't played the game, but I've gone into the game to muck around with the sound and stuff, and it seems okay. But I'm just going to start it up, and we'll see how it goes. There is an intro to the game, which seems to be much louder than everything else. So, watch your ears for this first part. We'll go through the story introduction thing.
Long, long ago, 2 grey gods crawled through a rift into this world and found it warm, lush, and unclaimed. It lacked only worshippers, so these gods, the Famhair, gifted apes with thought, shaping them into a clever, violent race, humanity. Great civilizations soon spread across the world, bloodthirsty, cruel, and strong in magic. Then the Famhair turned their greedy eyes on Arborea and Canestia, the homes of the elves and dwarfs, who until then had hardly noticed the thinking apes or their gods. Thus began the All-War, as the elves and dwarves banded together to defeat the Famhair and their human armies. But the Famhair were unkillable. All that could be done was drive them back through the rift, and even this cost the old races. All their gods and heroes died closing it. Worse, the Famhair never stopped clawing at it from the void, rending the very fabric of the world. So, a song spell was made that would forever knit up the rift. And as punishment for their part in the war, a human king's daughter was enchanted so she might sing the song without food or rest for eternity. 1,000 years on, and the maiden is forgotten, but the whispers of the Famhair still invade the dreams of the ambitious, promising power and crimson glory. 3 times have evil men heeded that siren call and sought the rift. And 3 times have they been defeated by ragtag and unproven heroes. Today the whispers wake a new evil, more devious than those that came before. Who this time will stand against it? What heroes this time will rise?
Summer's day
Oh, hello. So, well, I'm assuming that guy at the end with the glowing evil eyes is the fourth person to try to free the fan hair, I guess. Is that what they're trying to do? And I guess we're going to be attempting to stop them. This is funny. This is funny. These are like real people, but they've some sort of animation rotoscope type thing over the top. New game. Game slot. Okay, so I wonder if you can have more than one. Maybe. Oh wow.
The song I sing will tell the tale of a cold and wintry day, of castle walls and torchlit halls, and a price men had to pay. When evil fled and brave men bled, the Dark One came to stay. Till men of old, for blood and gold, had rescued Skara Brae.
I like you got the old music as well. I love how they, because one of the things about fantasy, and two things about fantasy I've always wondered about when you read a book and you watch stuff and kind of thing. Any book, I guess, really, is that when do they go to the loo? And two, what do their shoes look like? I'm not sure what fantasy shoes actually really look like.
Ready?
Not hardly.
Hang it! Take it for them! Give them the draw! This is only the beginning.
Thus, children, shall the sword father smite all who befriend the old races.
Hail, Henrid!
Okay. Hard times in Skara Brae. Speak to Rabbi. Okay, we'll go and speak to Rabbi. Let's have a look round first. Yeah, I always wonder I always wonder what people on their feet wear, what people wear on their feet in fantasy settings, games and films and things. The interpretation in that picture there of the bard was quite interesting. I also noticed, if you look at the bard, it seems like Russell Crowe has fallen on hard times. He's now appearing in the Bard's Tale 4. Okay, anyway, so we're going to the game. We've heard about the sword father, someone called Henrid, just hanged people. There's a preacher or a priest. Okay, so we've got some kind of xenophobic, racist stuff going on, as you would have in these times. It seems as though games generally can't avoid political statements. And what I've noticed again, and more, I mean, this is obviously meant to be a alternate Scottish land. The accents are very Scottish, and I noticed that the bad guys' accents are English. There you go. Another game, film, American Hollywoody trope that just happens. I like the visuals so far. It does feel. It feels atmospheric. Looking at the map there in the top corner, it's obviously quite. It's obviously quite restricted as to where you can go. I wonder if it, even though it's not like the old Bard's Tale where it's on a grid, I wonder if it's corridors that you move through. Well, that'll be interesting to see. But I like it. It feels atmospheric. Let's go and speak to Rabbi.
No mistake.
Let's turn the sound up a bit. I don't want to keep adjusting the sound, but you kind of need to, because it seems as though even if you go into the game settings and muck around with the sound, yeah.
I don't understand. What did they do? What was their crime?
Their crime? Existing was their crime. The Fatherites don't like our kind.
I like the faces. They're a bit odd. Obviously, not the eyes particularly, not super realistic, but I quite like the art style choice.
Come on, before those paladins give us a second glance.
I'll give them a second glance. And maybe a...
Oh, here now. Save it. You'll only get yourself killed. And we need you. You're gonna save Skara Brae.
Ah.
You're looking at me like you think old Robbie's had a few too many. Well, maybe I have. This is no drunkard's fancy. You've been in my dreams 7 nights now, and each one with the same end. You the hero, and me lost. They all start with some evil slithering out of the darkness, and you driving it back from whence it came. But I don't make it to the happy ever after. There's a moment right at the end where you could save me, and instead you choose not to. You just turn away and leave me to be buried alive.
Ooh, okay, Rabbit.
Well, maybe that means I shouldn't trust you. You're the best hope we've got. So I guess I'll just have to pray that part's not true. Anyway, hero, let's get back to the Adventurers Guild. I have a few words to say to the congregation.
To the Adventurers Guild. Awesome.
This way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Melody the Bard. Oh, you can make a custom character. That's good. Gains powers by drinking booze. She's a bard, I guess, then. Confirm. Okay, so I think... There we go. So I think this is how the combat works. I love the little musical notes going around. I think this is how the combat works. You have, like, grids, and your enemy has grids as well. That's interesting. Okay. Let's have a look around. I should guess this is Skara Brae.
Swing a cat in Skara Brae these days without hitting a paladin. Not that I'm prone to swing a cat.
I like the voice acting's pretty good so far. I mean, bearing in... Hang on a sec. Hang on. We've got glowing stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, it seems there's a crafting system as well. Some trickster selling protective something or others. There's someone singing over here. Doing her washing. That's awesome. I like the atmosphere so far. I must apologise. This is how I generally play games. You probably don't, because I mostly play MMOs on the channel. You don't notice, but I mostly play games quite slowly. I like to look and soak up the atmosphere and. Oh well, God, we've got glowing things overheads as well. Fine. Can't interact with the guards. Thomas Hoff.
Come here for soup. Well, soup is not an adequate description for what you'll be getting. You'll be getting fulfillment, joy, the tender embrace of your mother's arms. This is not just soup. It is a revelation, a liquid epiphany. Heaven by the spoonful. There is no question that this soup is good enough for you. The question you have to ask yourself is, am I good enough for this soup?
I'm going to assume not. No. Well, what a surprise.
No.
Okay.
Ruffians.
We're ruffians, apparently. It looks like someone's dragged a body here. Seems to be performing okay at the moment. Tater's precious. Oh, healing potion. Okay.
More murder. I should...
There's nothing to be gained fighting the Fatherites head on. There's another way. At least, I hope there is.
I've been a burning. I love the costumes. Really good.
Report. The fair folk are not my friends.
Bone shards. Crafting. Okay, so lots of crafting stuff at the moment. Oh, look. Look down there. There's like a harbour. That looks cool.
Is how they take thy soul.
Wood. Okay. Gold. Oh. Kind. So skeet is the currency. Oh, stuck. What am I stuck on? I'm stuck on some wood. More food. Okay. Ah. Attach rope. Grappling hook required. So I can get down there at some point. That's a nice view. That's really atmospheric. I like that a lot. I have to say, like A plus for the game so far with regards to just immersion. It feels really nice. I love the sea mist there. Okay, so I need to come back there when I get a grappling hook, I guess. Onions. I wonder if this will be like, I guess like the older Bard's Tale games where you had metal scraps. The older games where you had areas you couldn't go to until you met a certain criteria. So maybe that's what we've got here. I think it says open barrel, but then you kind of whack it, essentially.
Much for you, eh?
Got a weak stomach?
You better get used to it.
All the Skara Brae will burn before these priests are through.
Okay, so what have we got so far? We've got two evil gods, well, two gods banished from the world, trying to get back in. 3 people have tried to release them, allow them back in, and now there's a 4th one who's trying to do the same. And I'm assuming that these priests are working for the big evil dude. Got people begging there. Oh. Oh, so we're also collecting herbs. Awesome. I can't talk to them to give them anything.
I've known some good trout, but not many. Adventurous saint this time. Round 'em up. That's what I say.
I've known elves, dwarves, and trout all my life. Finest people around.
It also seems that these priests are not allowing people to interact with the other races. I can't go down there and I can't jump. More singing? I know maybe a lot of people, I quite like the faces. They're like doll-like almost. It's almost like that was like a design decision. Howdy. Okay. I think I broke up their conversation there. There seems to be something underneath here, but maybe it's sewers. Blue witch root. Red colewort. And green elf cress. Okay. I love the atmosphere. It feels really nice. The music playing's really good. Definitely got a Highland feel to it. Farmer Killip.
Cabbage.
Man, a few words. Oh wow, look. My game seems to have well, it's definitely not running at that resolution. That's weird. I hope I don't muck things up here by playing around. The game feels like it's got some sort of see what the better AA option is. None. FX AA. I'll stick with FX8. It seems a bit blurry. These are the settings, not a huge amount, but there's some there. The language is Dutch. Deutsch, I should say. German. And whenever I turn it to English, you come back into the game and it just changes back to German again, even though the game's actually in English. So there are a few issues at the moment. I wonder who this dude is. Oh, he might be a dwarf, actually. I remember seeing them in the trailer at the beginning. Ah, the dwarf design is really interesting. Assuming it is a dwarf, I might be wrong. Okay, be it known that the Temple of the Swordfather seeks the adventurer Naf Oakmore for questioning connection with necromancy and possession of forbidden texts. Wow. I wonder if we can use necromancy at some point then. I'm assuming that's the Adventurers Guild. Oh wow, look at that.
Here we are.
Awesome.
The guild.
It is the guild. We'll just finish our exploration outside. Place elven weapon. Turn of a page. Word of a sage. Sight not a fool. Start of it all. No, okay. So you can place an elven weapon here, and I wonder what happens when you do. There's kind of a little rhyme as well. We'll check that out. I can run by pressing shift, so another view. Huh? We've seen no view. Was there a way around here? Can we get around here? Ah. Okay. I've got a helmet, but you need training in it to wear it. Is there an inventory? There is. Okay, so I can't wear that at the moment. This is the first time I've seen my stats actually. Constitution, strength. Level 1 bard. She's got some songs. A song and an attack mastery book. Okay. So there's obviously a lot more going on here than there was in the original Bard's Tale games. Which is good. Let's go into the Adventurers Guild, shall we? Now she must be a dwarf, I would say. Or an elf. Looks more like a dwarf.
There were more folk killed last night. Some great beast, they said.
And again, they blame us for it.
What I just saw at Henred's hanging tree was the last straw. We have to...
Do you hear that?
The song of the maiden. What does it foretell this time?
Arrest the heretics! Burn this den of evil to the ground!
This way, hero! Hurry!
Now that sound took me by surprise as much as it probably did anyone. I do apologise for that. I can't. It's weird. There's no control over the sound. It just goes up and down, irrespective of what you change. I need to try and sort that out. I think. Character creation. Okay. Oh, I like it. I like the bard. That was brilliant. So the practitioner is a magician, a mage, basically. I'm going to play... I'll start with a mage. We get a party anyway. Culture. Ah, okay, so you've got different cultures as well. That's awesome. Most civilized. Okay. Okay, so raiders. All these forest dwellers. Hunter-gatherers, okay. Outlanders. Okay, or we can be the other races. I didn't realise that. An elf. Well, it makes sense to be an elf. I think as a mage, doesn't it? I like the look of the robes as well. That's pretty awesome. What's the trowel look like? Oh, cool. Trowel's advantage. I guess they would make more of like a roguey type. Let's be an elf.
Why do you even exist?
How can you prevail when we have right on our side?
Not a huge amount of choices in regards to looks. Oh, you can change your character name. That's good.
Come forward and
This isn't my first.
You've got to pay for what.
Come on.
Is that
It would be.
what?
Come on.
Try me. If you make me.
You make me sick.
You have no.
Why do your worst?
Well, it hurts me just to look at you.
Let's be cynical, I reckon. If I go back, could I... There's no way of changing my gender that I can see, which is not a problem. I think we'll stick with the dark haired. Okay, here we go. Skill tree. Welcome to your skill tree. Each time you level up, you earn a skill point. Okay. 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 I seem to remember in the other Bard's Tale games that I don't think it's going to apply here. The combat looks very different, so Mage Apprentice, okay. Dragon's Breath, +2 strength. Grand Conjurer. Grand Magician, Grand Summoner, Grand Sorcerer. So we've got Grand Conjurer. Oh, Soul Leech looks a bit necromancy. Grand Sorcerer. I'm not quite sure what Constitution does at the moment. I guess it's like a hit point thing. Okay, so I guess you need to make sure you put points here so you can actually wear armor. Meditation. So that's what I've already got. Meditate. Okay. Gain 1 spell point. Intellect tree. Lots of different skills that just seem to give me channeling and 1 spell point. Okay. That might be... Okay, so... Blade casting. Strength. Blade caster. So I can be like a... It looks like I can be like a fighter mage, maybe? And then you got crafting. Okay. Spellcraft. Yeah, you have to go down the trees by looks things, so I guess we'll pick Dragon Breath, you know, because it leads to all the other magic trees. Soul Leech. Attacks with spells have a 20% chance to restore. I quite like that. 1 spell point. That might be quite useful. We'll go with that for now. Oh, okay. No crafting recipes yet, I'm assuming. That's it. Confirm. So the Adventurers Guild was attacked by looks of things, and we've been. Magic spells, bardic songs cost spell points to activate. Okay. So we've been chucked below the Adventurers Guild. This is our first foray out into the.
We made it.
Ah, Rabbi's with us. Awesome. Indeed.
We've got to get to the old guild and figure a way to protect ourselves.
Okay, guys, I will stop this video here. I'll try and do something about the sounds, but it is difficult. You know, there's just some things just not. No matter what you do, things it's weird actually. I've seen it in some other games before. No matter what you do, the cutscenes just seem to be hugely loud. But I'll stop this video here, and we will come back and do some more.